McCrackins on location in Mccrackins Corner with Murray Weiner. Is there a favorite talent that you booked that, as a promoter, that you really were excited about, a national band?
Well, I have my own bucket list, but one of people that I'd like to work with. But you learn as a promoter that if you're really serving your client well, it is not about what I like or what I'd want.
Well, I'm not saying like what you want or what you like, but something that you really felt good about, just wasn't really perfect, something that's really sticks out.
I have some shows that stand out in my mind that I'm like so blessed to have been able to do them. Had the honor of working with Ray Charles. Had the pleasure of working with people that I personally always wanted to work with, like Kenny Loggins and Kenny Rogers and Michael McDonald.
So there's many.
Yeah, there's certain people that I always wanted to work with, and it's just a pleasure when you get to work with them. And each one of those shows, especially with national bands, it's a different experience. You hear a lot of stories. Oh boy, you're working with so and so, and boy, he's pretty rough or she's pretty difficult. And then you find out that that's not the case. And to be honest with you, most of the difficulties that you may have in doing a national show are not really with the artists themselves as much as it is with their people who work for them, their production managers, their tour managers, because those are the people who really do the hard work, the hard lifting, and driving all night and having to set things up. And so people are tired. It's a rough business, and but I've learned over the years that if I hire good people and we give them what they want, then we all can go to work and have it be a nice, comfortable day. Don't rub each other the wrong way.
Sure.
It goes well, and that even holds true for dealing with the local bands. The festivals that we do, and I know you've been to many of them. There's a lot that goes on in the backstage area that might seem to some people kind of trivial, but it's important to us, and that would be like things like having a porta potty backstage just for the people in the band.
Basic needs.
Basic needs.
Yes.
A porta potty, a place where they can change clothes,
Sure.
Water on a hot day, a place for them to park their car, so that when they come to work, it's a pleasurable experience instead of tedium. After doing this now for over 51 years, that's not what I'm looking for either. I'm not looking to have to dread going to work. So there's a little bit of selfishness in it, I guess, to try and make things comfortable for us as well. But it just makes the day go better, and you basically look forward to it.
So how many more years do you think you're going to continue to promote?
I'll probably keep doing it until I'm not well enough to do it. Family's always been involved in it. Yeah, I'm 74 now, and I'm not planning on quitting anytime soon.
If somebody else wanted to get into the business, was looking to get into the business, into promotion, because it sounds to me like you just kind of found your way through it. It's a pretty incredible story. But if somebody wanted to just get into promoting bands like you do, what would you recommend for them?
Well, first, just to be honest, honest and fair, and to always put the client first. As a promoter like what I do, different than like a booking agent would be. A booking agent usually has a roster of bands or artists, and it's that booking agent's responsibility to make sure that those bands are working.
Okay.
So they basically have an allegiance to them. As a promoter, I don't have that tie.
So you can pick and choose who you like.
Yes. And in doing that, when I promote a festival, I don't put bands on the lineup just because I have an obligation. My obligation is to my clients to make sure that I'm giving them the best quality talent that's out there for the budget and the money that they have. So I look at their demographic of the community, and for most of us, the music that we listened to was what we call our music. It could be the music that we listened to in high school. For most people, it is.
Yeah.
So when you go into a community, you have to look at like the median age, the racial makeup of the community, and basically put entertainment in there that will work.
So there's a lot of thought behind the whole process before you even go to promote to put in that position.
I think so.
Yeah, well, I mean,
the way that I do it.
Well, I think that's intelligent. So, and you do, and I've seen it. You change it up every year.
The best combination is to take what's tried and true, what you know works. I mean, let's face it, there are certain bands out there that you can go see them on a different corner every night of the week, and they're going to draw people.
No, I agree.
And I think that while you have to have that, you also, if you appreciate talent, you're always looking for somebody new, something new that's fresh and exciting, okay? And as a promoter, you try to expose that talent to more people. But it is gratifying when you give a band a break and it ends up that they prove themselves and become kind of like a staple in the marketplace. Every dog has their day, as they say. You know, there's bands that are like very successful, but there's always somebody coming along that's working towards knocking that band off the pedestal and kind of taking their place, and it kind of runs in cycles like
Very
that.
competitive.
It is. It's just generally the music business itself, whether it's the end of it I'm in or that they're in, very cutthroat business. Back to your original question about what I would tell people is that, be honest, be truthful, don't double dip. The band will tell you how much they'd like to get, and then you add your commission onto that. And so you go to the client and say, okay, well, this band is going to be $1,100, say, for example.
Okay.
And $1,000 of that is actually going to the band, and the client's paying you an extra $100 on top of that for the commission. That's how I make money.
Okay.
If you were unscrupulous, you could go to the band and say, okay, well, I made you $1,000. I'd like 10% of that as commission, and take $100 from the band.
Oh, I see. Okay.
As well as taking $100 from the client.
Well, that'll come back to bite you, I would think, eventually.
It'll come back to haunt you.
I would think so.
Absolutely. Be honest and fair. One thing that my company's always done that some companies don't do is add the extra value of always having somebody from the company on site at every show that we do.
And the reason for that is?
The reason for that is we feel there's value in offering our services to make sure that we're on site so that the client doesn't have to go anywhere near the stage if they don't want to.
Oh, I see.
They put a lot of time and energy into setting up these events and planning for them. And we would just prefer to be able to tell them, look, just enjoy your event. Don't worry about what's going on about the stage. You don't have to hire one of your staff to tell the band where to go.
So they can be hands-off.
Totally hands-off.
Okay.
We're hands-on. Some people in the business, some booking agents or promoters, will go to the client and say, here's your band, have a nice day. Okay, so, or they will charge them more to have somebody on site. to handle the logistics.
And you do it as a courtesy.
We feel that that whatever commissions we're making,
Mhm.
that's the way that we earn them.
Okay.
Because let's face it, to pick up the phone and call a band and say, would you like to play at Wooddale Fest? And they go, sure. That takes 2 minutes and it's done.
Right.
So you really haven't done much to earn your money. Where your money is earned, we feel, is by being there that day and working with that band and working for the client and making sure that everything runs right.
Well, that sounds perfect.
It sounds like a no-brainer to me.
Well, you heard it from Murray. This is Ed McCracken, Mccrackins Corner. Thanks for the interview. I appreciate it. Thanks for coming in.
Thanks for supporting local music. And,
I always try to.
Yeah, I see your face there, and it's always a breath of fresh air when I know you're there.
So if you guys need somebody, get a hold of this gentleman. He's in the book. McCracken out!